Long story, but here goes. About 7 months ago, I found out my fiance had been cheating on me. We started dating when I was 23 and she was 22. She was my first real love, and I truly believed she'd be my forever. We lived together for 3 years, had been engaged for one, though we hadn't yet started planning the actual wedding. Things had hit a bit of a low point, but I figured that was normal. Every relationship has its ups and downs. I still loved her with everything I had. Looking back now, there were red flags, but at the time I just couldn't imagine her doing something like that. One day, I happened to get off work early, totally unplanned. I thought I'd surprise her, maybe grab lunch together since she had the day off. When I walked into the house, I immediately noticed clothes scattered around and could hear noises coming from upstairs. My heart sank. Legs shaking, I climbed the stairs, already dreading what I might find. The bedroom door was half open. Inside, I saw her on all fours with another man behind her. They didn't even notice me standing there, paralyzed. I think I stood there for maybe 5–10 seconds, though it felt like forever. I didn't say anything. I didn't confront them. I just walked out, got into my car, and drove to a parking lot where I cried for hours until I felt empty. Later that evening, I came home. She acted like nothing had happened. I told her coldly that we were done. She started crying and demanded an explanation, but I gave her none. I just told her to move out within a week. Since the house was in my name, it was easier to enforce. I left and stayed with a friend that week. By the time I came back, she was gone. That first month was hell. I was devastated. Her friends and family tried to contact me, some angrily, some just confused. I ignored them all and blocked every number. As much as I wanted to scream that she cheated and deserved whatever fallout came her way, I kept it to myself. The hardest part was cutting off her parents, who I'd grown very close to. They weren't angry, just reaching out kindly, but I shut the door on that too. One of her closest friends, let's call her M, had also become a friend of mine over the years. She tried reaching out a few times and I ignored her too at first. About a month later, she messaged again, asking to meet and saying she wasn't really friends with my ex anymore. I finally agreed. When we met, I told her everything. I also told her I suspected she knew about the affair but chose not to tell me, and for that reason, I didn't want to stay in contact. Ikel. She broke down in tears. She told me she did know, and it had torn her up inside. She even confronted my ex about it. It was the reason they'd had a falling out. That night, Em and I ended up sleeping together. Eventually, she told my ex, and it destroyed the dynamic of their whole friend group. I later wrote a heartfelt letter to my ex's parents explaining what had happened, that I had loved and respected them, and that I wished things could have ended differently. They replied with a beautiful letter of their own saying they understood, they were disappointed in their daughter, and they still thought of me as the son-in-law they had always wanted. Fast forward to now. About 6 months later, I heard that my ex has been dealing with depression and is in therapy. Honestly, I didn't feel much when I found out. Not hate, not sadness. Maybe a little pity, but that's it. In the end, I walked away from something toxic. I've healed. I'm happy again. She lost a loyal partner, friends, and even her parents' trust. In some strange way, I feel like I dodged a bullet. TLDR. My fiancé cheated. I walked away without a scene. 6 months later, I'm doing great. She's in therapy. Feels like justice.